YouTube. We back with another one, you hear me? We got the Grim Reaper of Columbus, Ohio, killed outside nightclub. Looked like it was retaliation. Probably got their get back. But let's see, man. See, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe if y'all want more of these kind of videos.
Nobody wins when the family feels.
I'm still gonna send it. Mama, I just want a meal. I'm trying to make it out alive. You know a nigga traumatized. Watching my own people die. My brother up in the sky. Jimmy Choos and Robbins. I've been robbing all the robbers. Brody told me slow down, but I can't stop it.
I mean, who did the shooting? Who shot him?
Just before I on and started shooting. He's down. He shot. My friend is shot.
Your side starts with this breaking news alert.
We begin tonight with breaking news. 2 people are now charged in the murder of a man at a West Side Wendy's. Police have arrested Nigel Jackson and Payson Hickson. Police say Jackson and Hickson were involved in some sort of argument with 2 others at the Wendy's in Franklinton. That's when Edwin Guerrero and a 17-year-old were shot. Guerrero died. The teen is expected to be okay.
Continue to investigate a shooting that left 2 people dead outside of a downtown nightclub.
And again, they say it was just outside that front door where those 2 victims were found early this morning.
Today we talk about a young man that had the reputation as the Grim Reaper of the West Side of Columbus, Ohio. His last known message he wrote on his Facebook account was this: November 20th.
He like that in Ohio? I ain't never heard of Ohio being like that. Ohio. Maybe Cleveland. Columbus.
2023. Ain't nobody getting shit, and I'm out west. Now, just so we clear, a Grim Reaper is identified as death, especially when personified as a man or skeleton with a scythe. And fam, that's not a name that I made up for him for the sake of this story. That's what people close to the man we about to talk about identify him as. Now, it seemed to be some beef in Columbus, Ohio that has no plans of ending anytime soon. Once the first body dropped, it's a wrap. Now, the sad thing is this alleged Grim Reaper had lost his mom almost 3 years ago, and he'd been going through it ever since. Last summer, alongside a photo, he had wrote this: "Tell my mama I'm gonna be late to heaven because what I've done turned to." But the real reason I'm bringing all this up today, family, is because in the last 48 hours, this alleged Grim Reaper.
And let's talk about how a decade too hard that you turn into. Yeah. I'm telling you, I ain't trying to make it seem as no excuse for why, but that would do that to you. Some people don't know how to breathe without, feeling even. That's the only way some people can breathe, even after. I ain't saying that's no excuse, but that's real shit.
His friend was gunned down outside a local lounge just 10 minutes before it closed. Now, as far as the police, as of now, they not releasing the identities of the victims per protocol until they reach their parents. Now, it's saying this shooting might be retaliation from an ongoing feud for almost 10 years from both sides. And today, we here to discuss it all. So first, remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. According to recent studies, Columbus, Ohio is an area that housed almost 1 million residents alone in 2024. It's also a place where Tony Scott and Nigel Jackson call home. Now let's give them both a brief introduction. Tony Scott breed dogs, make chains, grills, and a part-time rapper with the alias Cash Out Tone.
I'm still gonna send it. Mama, I just want a meal. I'm trying to make it out alive. You know I'm traumatized. Watching my own people die. My brother up in the sky. My other one gone to the state. He doing 23 straight. I'm just trying to find a way.
Now, he associated himself with the West Side of Columbus, Ohio. And a part of that same affiliation was Nigel Jackson, aka Mont, aka the Grim Reaper. And he was considered by his peers and his enemies as a force to be reckoned with. Both guys were fathers to beautiful daughters. In 2015, Nigel had lost a guy he called his brother. His name was Karan Davis. He lost his life in December 11th, 2015. The case is still unsolved to this day, almost 10 years later. Karan was just 19 years old when he was gunned down. at the location we mentioned was about 12:15 p.m. at 361 S of Rica Avenue. Surveillance cameras in the area of the shooting capture a vehicle, which turns out to be a minivan. Family, his ops shot up his crib in the minivan. I guess the rapper Dope B that signed the Future from Ohio was speaking truths. A man from Ohio spinning in a minivan.
Run, Forrest, run. Cause them niggas slotted minivans, run.
As you can see, Dope Boy even went as far as having a minivan on the front of his album. But let's get back to the story. At just 17 years old, a year after he lose his brother, Nigel will end up getting shot and arrested after he was charged for the demise of a 36-year-old man named Edwin Gardo after a shootout in the Wendy's parking lot on the west side of Columbus, Ohio. It was an argument between two groups in the parking lot that led to gunfire on both sides.
Search is on tonight for a killer after a murder in the parking lot of a West Side Wendy's last night. It's the Wendy's on West Broad in Franklinton. ABC 6's Steve Levine returned today to find out more about what happened. Steve?
Bob, as you can see right behind me, the windows of the restaurant still boarded up after they were hit with bullets yesterday during that gunfire, as police continue to search for the people responsible for shooting up the place while innocent folks are walking in to dine and have dinner. A homemade memorial filled with flowers and empty bottles sits just feet from where 38-year-old Edwin Guerrero was shot to death in this Wendy's parking lot.
He was a good friend that died, you know, he was from here, the hood, and it's sad, man.
Guerrero and a 17-year-old teen boy were hit after bullets rang out in the parking lot during an argument between two groups of people. Guerrero died at a local hospital, the teen now in stable condition.
It's like fireworks and guns, and you can't tell the difference. So I didn't really pay it much attention.
Anybody could have got hit with a bullet.
Columbus homicide detectives are now investigating why the deadly violence happened and who is behind it. 911 callers providing what little details they had to police moments after the shooting.
Honey, who did the shooting? Who shot him?
What happened on the first shooting? He's down. He shot. My friend is shot.
Folks who live in the neighborhood not surprised by the gunfire, telling us it's become a way of life in Franklinton.
It's what they do. All these streets out here is full of drugs and girls.
It's all about the money and the drugs down here, and it's sad.
Columbus police are not releasing the identity of the 17-year-old who was wounded for security reasons. Police say Guerrero had an address in the streets of Columbus. We're live in...
Now at this point, 2016, before the age of 18, it was documented by the police that Nigel Jackson is a shooter. 5 years later, Nigel would lose his mother. Her name was Jada Pruitt. She was a mother of 6 beautiful kids. Now that was hard on Nigel and the rest of his siblings. Almost 3 years later, Nigel would lose his life with this good friend, Tony. It just hit February 5th, 2024. It was a Monday morning. Tony Scott and Nigel Jackson, both residents of the city, were found deceased from a gunshot wound outside a nightclub in the downtown area. It was at North Lounge on 15 West Cherry Street. It happened at 1:15 a.m.
Now at 5, police investigating a deadly shooting outside of a nightclub in downtown Columbus. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Andrew Kinsey.
I'm Yolanda Harris. Police say 2 people were shot and killed outside Nor Lounge just after closing overnight. Carla Rogner is live on West Cherry Street, where the investigation into this shooting continues. Carla?
Yeah, police are still looking into what exactly led up to the shooting, but say the victims were customers at the bar. Now, Noir Lounge is in the center of downtown in a busy residential area, so news of the shooting is a concern for many.
Just cops, sirens, one after another.
Randy Allen says he woke up to the sounds of emergency crews responding to the shooting outside Noir Lounge.
I heard probably 13, 14 cars and some ambulances.
This is where police say they found 2 people with gunshot wounds. The victims pronounced dead at the scene just before 1:30 in the morning. Allen has been living across the street for several months and says sometimes he's out late walking his dog.
They said this was a really safe area, you know, so I took their word for it. So I was surprised that something like this would happen.
And Theona Blake used to live in the same building.
Oh, up there, the 4th floor.
She was...
I gotta get that through y'all mind. Ain't nowhere safe. Nowhere. in this world. Just keep it real. Ain't nowhere in this world safe. Don't go nowhere lacking thinking. But don't go nowhere thinking you just safe. Like, good. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Nowhere safe. And you know that, right? Just prove that. Prove that. Talking about he thought it was safe. Safe.
Checking her mail when she found out about the shooting. She says she just moved away from downtown over concerns of crime.
I'm happy that I moved out because
So she moved over here just to get away from safe.
crazy
It
that
might be better over here than it is. Yeah. But ain't nowhere complete.
and I'm sorry for the people that, that passed away and their families, That's sad.
Safety in downtown Columbus is one of the main focuses of the Capitol Crossroads and Discovery Special Improvement Districts. The nonprofit's deputy director says the fatal shootings are not indicative of the main issues in the neighborhood.
Probably the biggest concerns right now that we're hearing about is folks who are in crisis on the street. We're also hearing about loud noises late at night after bars and clubs close. And we're hearing, again, because it feels like it's almost spring right now, we're hearing about vehicles who are reckless and blaring their music and screeching their tires and drag racing.
A rep for Noir Lounge says there were no issues inside the nightclub before the shooting, and its staff is working with police as they investigate. As the investigation,
it wasn't no issue. So either somebody dropped the load or they was plotting on them. That's the two options right there. Either somebody dropped the load, because niggas did say they of course they got something. They got a name, of course. Especially the Tone dude. They got a name, because they said he was a rapper, huh? Yeah, rapper. So they got a name. You got a name, you can't just move it. Can't be in no public nightclub like this without, gotta be on point. Maybe he was on point. That shit ain't enough. You gotta really know how to move. But either somebody dropped the load or they was plotting on him.
to what happened continues. It's unnerving for people like Alan who live next door.
There's really never been an issue this way. It's one of the reasons I've chose this area.
And the city attorney says there have been some noise complaints here at Noir Lounge, but those are the only issues that have been reported here. The victims in the shooting have yet to be identified, and anyone with information about what happened overnight is asked to contact Columbus Police or Crime Stoppers. Live in Columbus, Carla Rogner, 10 TV News.
Exactly why is still unclear, but what we can say, revenge don't have a date on it. And it's almost for certain that they were spotted inside that venue to be able to get hit up right when they let out and get their target. Now, as we wrap this video up, I want to say rest in peace to Tony Scott, Nigel Jackson, Ron Davis, Edwin Guerrero, and Jada Pritt. Once again, rest in peace. A love of condolences to all you guys' family. Now, before we get out of here, I want to show you guys a Facebook post in regards to Nigel and Tony losing their life. Apparently, the opposition been bragging online. One woman put, "I'll put them West Side boys up against any of y'all, any day. Y'all not really like that. Them boys really like that. Y'all be trolling. Y'all gonna die, and they so silent. It's about to be a hot summer." One dude wrote, "Ann's trolling, but was..."
Brother, as a female son, female dog, like, stay out the female, you're not supposed to talk to. Yeah, like, females supposed to be out the way, mind your business. That's all you gotta do. I ain't talking about the innocent females that don't got nothing to do with that. They just know the wrong people. I'm talking about the ones that be on social media talking like they the ones that y'all gotta stay out. It ain't no game. Y'all gotta stay out that shit.
Hit of my brother and his stand, clown boys. Like they say, once the bodies drop, it's a wrap. Alright, talk to me, fam. This was the story of two men losing their life in front of a local lounge, only steps away from the front door. 10 to 15 minutes after closing, after being at war with guys right around the corner for going on a decade. With so much hurt, when you take a life, it only takes one to want retaliation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, family. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you guys.
Like I said, somebody dropped a loot. But they was plotting on them. For them, they waited outside the club 15 minutes after the club to do what they had to do. Somebody got a name. Gotta watch how you move. You don't know who watching. You don't know who looking. Gotta watch how you move, though. Even if you don't got a name, watch how you move. You don't know who watching. You don't know who looking. Small world, and they right around the corner from who they beefing.